what it do? You know what it is. Y'all know how it's going. The day is Sunday. I'm here with my Dan Boone hat on and my night robe. And guess what else I'm doing? Sipping some coffee on the NFL draft. So what it do? How y'all doing today, man? Y'all here with your boy Elooo on a quick segment. I told myself I wasn't going to say that because normally if I tell you it's going to be a quick segment, we normally rock out for a long time that we rocking like we got a guitar in our hand and we on the rock and roll stage. You heard me? Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it, man. First, let me clear up something that I said. First, not clear up something that I said. Let me reiterate something that I said. So, a month ago, I did an episode in which I was talking about the NFL Combine. 2 days ago, no, that might have been yesterday, I did a little clickbait situation with y'all on Instagram, on my story. I put up the clip from the episode when I was comparing the NFL Combine. The NFL Combine to the slave trade. Yesterday when I put that clip up, I already know what they were going to think. They was going to think that I was saying that about the whole Shadur situation, in which I had multiple people hit me up saying, I don't think it's a race thing with Shadur, Earl. Never did I say this is a race thing with Shadur. I didn't say that. I said the combine is the closest thing you're going to get to the slave trade when we're talking about taking a man, measuring him, searching everything about his background and his lifestyle. You know, I need to know every measurement, every time, everything that you got so that I can pay you to come work for me. That's the closest thing that you have to the slave trade. If you don't know much about the slave trade, especially if you only know the information that was given to you within K through 12 education level, just do some more homework, bro, and you'll understand everything that I'm saying. It ain't like I'm over here making some statement that's just some outlandish stuff, being a victim to something or something like that. No, we ain't playing victim or none of that. I'm just letting you know pure facts. Now let's move on. Let's move on to this draft. Okay, let's start with the Shadur situation. I've seen multiple accounts, multiple blogs, put up all this different stuff. Oh, I didn't think he was a first round or a second round draft pick. Either way, it went cool. Ain't nobody telling you had to think that. All I got to question is this. In the comments, you write down to me, out of those 6 quarterbacks taken before Shadur was picked, you tell me which one of those quarterbacks is better. I had a guy tell me who has Shadur played against in college football to say this. Well, hey, devil's advocate here, Mr. Elooo. Let's go talk about it. I recall at the end of the beginning of this season, when the schedules came out, Shadur was supposed to have this hard game when he make it to Orlando, Florida against UCF, Gus Malzahn, them offense and defense. I recall that playing Oregon. I recall that playing all of these teams that was just going to straight up shut out Colorado last year. I recall that Shadur was going to get in these big moments on the schedule that they played. And again, they said, who has he played? And I'm sitting here naming major Division I's that Colorado actually played last season. He performed in each one of those games, over 300 yards, maybe 3 to 4 touchdowns thrown in those games, passing percentage over 50%. Yeah, every time, it goes back to the Floyd Mayweather situation. Floyd Mayweather whole career, before y'all now saying that he's the greatest boxer that we've seen, every fight, they would say, oh, this guy's going to destroy Floyd Mayweather. This guy's going to take Floyd Mayweather out. Then Floyd go in there and completely make the guy look like nothing. They come back and say, oh, who has Floyd fought? We 50 fights in on Floyd's career. That basically mean that every professional fighter that Floyd fought, y'all trying to say that he wasn't a good fighter. Same thing with the college football. Whenever. Now, let's go to the race situation overall in the NFL. The race situation is this. They don't believe in black quarterbacks. They don't believe black quarterbacks is a franchise quarterback, bro. They told Lamar Jackson he was a wide receiver. Jalen Hurts was a late second-round pick. I thought it was third round. It was a second round. I did my homework on it. He was a late second-round pick after taking 2 teams to the college playoffs, playing in the national championship twice. He did get benched in one of them. Playing in the national championship twice. Daniel Jones. Do I need to go down the list and name all these quarterbacks who's been first round draft picks in the last couple of years? I mean, not just first round draft picks, first overall picks. These guys didn't even have the resume to be a first round pick, let alone a first overall pick. And we're sitting here talking about Shadur, who's proven his play on the field is this. If we played against somebody and I played subpar, to say, I had a guy in the barbershop tell me that Shadur was a bust. He wasn't even on the team yet. So you seen everything you seen from him in college, of him being an elite passer. He's not scrambling around, none of that there. He's an elite passer. You seen him be an elite passer in college, and you told yourself, he's going to be a bust in the NFL. The dude told me like Caleb Williams. If y'all ever talk football with me, y'all know I'm not a Caleb Williams fan. It's so funny that I'm talking about Caleb Williams. But to compare Shadur to Caleb Williams, and they're two different passing styles. They was comparing Caleb Williams to Pat Mahomes. This draft, they was comparing Cam Ward to Pat Mahomes. Man, come on, man. There's too many analysts all over the board, man. This the best thing about the Shadur situation. He ended up on a team that got a bunch of quarterbacks on it. I'm going to say this. This is the best thing about this draft. This draft, to me, is a show-me draft. Show me who you are. Show me you are what they say you are. Because there were so many players that were supposed to be high draft picks that ended up undrafted free agents. Now, let's go to my next bulletin. My next bulletin was this right here. That's just the kick in. I kick in. What's up? We sipping coffee. Now we rolling. I hope you're in the comments already. Here he is. Let's talk. I say, is this draft a direct example of what's going to happen for the next couple of years with the NIL deals in college? Because when we talk about a Shadur Sanders, when we talk about a Kobe Bryant, when we talk about a Xavier Restrepo, when we talk about a lot of these guys, a Simeon Barrow, a lot of these guys who were supposed to be high draft picks but didn't even get drafted at all. When we talk about these guys, we got to think about it in the sense of they already paid. So Shadur slipping to the fifth round and missing out on almost $41 million or whatever was the threshold between the rounds, because from a first round draft pick you can make X amount of dollars, from a second round draft pick you can make X amount of dollars to a third round pick. He fell all the way to the fifth round, so therefore the projections looks like he made more money in college last year through NIL deal than he will make in the next 4 years in the NFL. So if that's the case, some of these kids need to forego their chance to go to the NFL. In my opinion, this is my opinion. In my opinion, why not execute college to its highest level if each year to year I can make $4 million, or let's just say I can make $2 million a year in college. I can pull off 6 years here and retire. Yeah. Like that's the ball game that need to be played if we talking about using the platform that you gain to gain a financial platform for your family so that y'all can take them into a different realm. You know, it's all about playing chess, not checkers, with what you being, you know, what's being presented to you. So is this a direct example of the NIL and full tuition in college? And then we seeing things like in the NFL, a team like the Browns got Joe Flacco or a veteran quarterback, Deshaun Watson, veteran quarterback that's going through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Will we see more veteran quarterbacks have teams under their belt, as in Oakland Raiders? I mean, I'll keep calling them Oakland. Las Vegas Raiders going out and getting a person like Geno Smith. You know, there's a lot of, the draft wasn't quarterback heavy needed because we got so many veteran quarterbacks that's in the proper position now, as in Sam Darnold last year going to the Minnesota Vikings and having a great year. You know, Sam Darnold first years in the league, it was very rough for him. Actually, 2 of the years he ended with more interceptions than he did touchdowns. That's crazy. But look at him now. So us seeing these kids being more relaxed in college because they're making the funds, will this be a direct example of us seeing players like Shadur and them not caring about going in the first round? Just put me in the best situation possible. You know, Kobe Bryant, everybody is on the whole Shadur thing. Me too. I was, and he's drafted now. That's over with, because we can go through the go-throughs and point out Every starting quarterback right now that's been starting in the NFL and excelling, Pro Bowl caliber quarterbacks sat behind a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback before they took over. So, hey, best of luck to you, Shadur. I'm happy for you. But let's go talking to, I'm over here. I'm talking about going off these bulletins off the top of my head. I said I was going to roll on up out of here. Let's talk about, okay, I'm going to stay on these undrafted free agents right now because let's talk about Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay being a winner, the Bucs, baby. Tampa Bay being a winner in this draft. Tampa Bay made some major moves. Tampa Bay made some major moves that will put us back in the conference championship because the Saints went out and got a quarterback that, hey, Tyler was a stand-up man at Louisville this season. We was in a shootout with Tyler due to the scheme that our defensive coordinator was running, period. That's why his rump got fired. Tyler is not that dude to be going to the Saints in the NFL. If you mean to tell me that what Lance Guidry was running was, you know what I'm saying, throwing the little wrinkles in his body, that's how we ended up beating them because he couldn't win the shootout against Cam Ward. Lance Guidry came up with enough stats against Louisville this year for us to gain that win in Louisville. Tyler ain't that guy. So let's talk about the quarterbacks in there. You got multiple Heisman first pick quarterbacks in the NFC South. You hear me? Baker Mayfield, Heisman, first round draft pick, Heisman. Bryce Young, Heisman, national championship. Baker Mayfield, national championship. You know, where the Saints come at? Michael Penix, national championship, played in it. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta Falcons. What the Saints got going on over there, man? And you had a chance to get some real stuff over there. You had a chance. Hell, y'all could have took Dylan Gabriel. There's a lot of stuff y'all could have did, man. But I ain't in y'all front offices, man. But I'm going to tell you like this here. Before I finish the winners, I got to say this here because I went there and I didn't go all the way there. The Bears front office is horrible. The Giants front office is probably the worst drafting front office in the NFL history, bro. What are y'all doing? Y'all, you just adding random pieces. The Bears, go look at the Bears draft from first round to seventh round, plus their undrafted free agents. They only got like 4 undrafted free agents. Matter of fact, let's do it right, Earl. Let's do it right. Let's go to the Bears. The Chicago Bears have 5 undrafted free agents coming to their team. Yes, 5. None of the names on here is standout. And when I tell you this makes a difference this year because there were so many standouts that did not get drafted. And you telling me the Bears got 5 undrafted free agents, as in winners like the Tampa Bay Bucs. Let's go to them. And how many we got? How many the Bucs picked up? Because we did a heck of a job in that. The Bucs, the Baltimore pulled in a lot. The Falcons, that's the Cardinals. The Falcons, the Ravens. Buffalo got a good amount. The Panthers. How are we skipping over Tampa? Where are we at? Y'all work with me. Jacksonville got a lot of undrafted free agents. Kansas City got a lot of undrafted free agents. I don't know how Tampa is way down here, but they little order messed up. Philadelphia Eagles, fresh off a Super Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles at the top. In the draft classes, too, because, hold on, let me just say this here. Philadelphia Eagles added Montreal Johnson to their running back room. They let go Kenneth Gainwell, and they're going to bring Montreal Johnson in to replace Kenneth Gainwell. That is a over-the-top replacement. Montreal Johnson is a NFL running back, okay? Prashal Tootin, Virginia Tech's running back, was the best running back in the draft. Quote me. Please quote me. Prashal Tootin was the best running back in this draft class for 2025. He ended up with the Jaguars. Tampa Bay, good gracious. Tampa Bay had 10 undrafted free agents. I had to go way down here to get them in there. Very impactful. I'm going to get back to that because what I'm going to do to you right now is I'm going to go ahead and give you my draft grades on winners from the draft. My draft grades from the draft from the other night, the last couple of nights, is this. It goes as read. The Panthers has flipped their roster. They proved they was in the middle of flipping their roster last season at the end. Bryce Young, Chuba Hubbard, that young Coker, that young tight end, plus Adam Thielen, and there's another receiver they had over there. But they was doing good at the end of the year last year. So they was the team you didn't want to play if you needed to get into the playoffs last year. So let's talk about what they did in the draft. Man, these people went crazy. These people added, here we go again. You got to be prepared when you jump on this internet, ain't it? Good gracious. The Vikings might have added 20 people in the undrafted free agent, man. I'm looking for the Chargers. DJU. They picked up DJU. I want to see that development go down. Who we talking about? The Panthers. The Panthers. Let me get that real quick. Y'all bear with me. Stick with your boy. Talk to your boy. Write me in the comments. Like, subscribe. Go over to the website, kingdom.com. Get you some hair products. All of that good stuff. Okay. They brought Jacoby George from the University of Miami as a receiver. They picked up a receiver within the draft. They added 2 cornerbacks that slipped under. They added a safety. They added another running back. They added a quarterback. The Panthers went into this draft and said, we're going to top off a couple more pieces so we can take this spot of the Saints within this conference. The Saints that we used to know when Drew Brees was there is no longer. And the Carolina Panthers will be replacing them in the NFC South. Period. The Jaguars, let's talk about it. The Jaguars went into the draft. On my mock draft, I told y'all I thought the Jags was going to make a trade, make a boom, push themselves up to the top, and grab Shadur. They did everything I said but grab Shadur. They grabbed Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas, Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne, Deshaun Tootin. Deshaun Tootin would come on for the Jacksonville Jaguars the same way Bucky Irvin did for Tampa Bay this year. That style running back they just picked up. Trevor Lawrence, you got 8 weeks to show that you are an elite quarterback with this team. Because not only have they loaded you with the weapons, they have loaded you with the protection. They have went out, they have gained the offensive line, and I'm pretty sure they're not done. They invested in Trevor Lawrence a couple years ago, and they're trying to exercise everything they can around him to show that they made the right decision. And as an organization, that's how you're supposed to do it. It is what it is. The top 2 teams that won in this draft, in my opinion, is the Panthers, Jacksonville, Jaguars. And the third team is the New England Patriots. That hurts my feelings to say that. I done been a New England hater for so long, huh? To the point that this year, I might have to drop it a little bit because they done picked up a lot of key players. I like to see a team rebuild a team for winning purposes. We not here for the politics, and we not here to make the fans happy. We trying to win football games. We not trying to get the little boy in New England to look up to the quarterback and say that Drake May is who I want to be like. We ain't worried about that, brother. His daddy need to do that. What we doing is we trying to win football games. And that's the type of roster that the Patriots over there building right now. And I respect that. I respect that because these human beings trying to change the trajectory of their families just like these people is that's talking about, oh, my kid look up to you. Do your kid look up to you? We ain't going to go deep into this community rant that I normally do about this here, about y'all trying to make famous people be the people to look up to for your kids. I ain't going to go there right now. I'm going to keep on my draft thing, but make sure your kids look up to you. Don't worry about these athletes and these celebrities, period. Huh? And I'm going to give you my 2 borderlines. I'm going to give you my 2 borderline winners. So we got the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Patriots as the top 3 winners of the draft. You do your homework. You look it up. You see who they drafted. You see who they got in the undrafted free agency. And you understand that the Panthers, they have been at the bottom. The Jaguars have been at the bottom. The Patriots have been at the bottom. But no longer. Borderline winners in this draft. I'm going to say it in a reverse order. The Raiders. The Raiders had an awesome draft, bro. They have loaded Geno with offensive linemen, weapons, a defense. The Raiders is building them up to what I believe they projected the Las Vegas Raiders to be. Not the Oakland Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders. They are building their roster to be the team that they identified when they made their team switch to Las Vegas. Then we got the Browns. The Browns is the scariest team to ever put faith in, ever. In any form, shape, or way. When the Browns picked up Deshaun Watson, I'm a Watson fan, so I don't care what y'all got to say about what went on in the last 2 years. See, let me tell you something. I understand life. I understand a lot of things about life. And I understand that when motherfucker going through some go-throughs, things gonna change, man. When I got 100 things on my mind, I might come on here and spew something out that I ain't even supposed to spew out. I might act in a way that I might not act when I got a lot on my plate. That man had 150-something women out here talking about something he sexually assaulted. We ain't gonna go into the politics of that neither. But we do know that infected the play on the field, period. When you used to just focusing on football and you can't just focus on football no more, you thinking about your life, your well-being, all of that good stuff, your football play is gonna take a hit. So bam, they moving on. They got 4 other quarterbacks in the room. You feel me? The Browns. The defense already been the defense. The Browns has not had a bad defense in the last 5 seasons. I don't know how long Garrett been there, but Myles Garrett, I don't know how long he been there, but I know for the last couple of years that he's been there, their defense has been an elite defense, regardless. The problem is you can't win a shootout with your defense. So you load your quarterback room up, you load the weapons up. Jerry Jeudy is a weapon, an Alabama weapon. One of the most prolific receivers to come from out of Alabama under Nick Saban when they was a prolific offense. I know he's primed for the NFL. David Njoku, grade A tight end from where? The U. So you already know you got an athlete unbelievable. We is tight end U, baby. So the Browns had a draft that most people ain't gonna understand until Madden come out. All right, let's get to it, man. Them my winners. My winners from the free agent pool is the Falcons and the Bucks. The Falcons was able to get players that the Falcons got some players in free agency that they just, it's just crazy that they was there to pick up. I'm gonna go to it. I'm gonna say about 2 of them, and then we're gonna move on because we almost out of time here, folks. But yeah, the Falcons got almost 5. The Falcons picked up almost a whole new offensive line in this draft. Nate Carter, Michigan State running back. To me, the biggest one is Simeon Barrow and Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was once projected the #1 cornerback to come off the board in this 2025 draft. What happened in his interviews and his pro day, I don't know. I don't know how Kobe Bryant went undrafted, bro. I seen like 3 cornerbacks come from small schools that I know ain't played the caliber of ball that Kobe Bryant has played, or the caliber of teams that Kobe Bryant has played. Because like y'all like to throw up for the last 20 years, oh, he was in the SEC, as if that matters in the transfer portal era. Like that matters in the NIL era, when I don't think this SEC stuff even matters no more. When you have more SEC players leaving to receive a higher NIL deal, then you got SEC players within the SEC. They're leaving for that bag. So those same players that you be like, oh, if you played in the SEC, I know you went against caliber players. Those players that was once dominating the SEC is no longer there because they're in other conferences, Pac-10, ACC, everywhere else, Big 12, doing things to get money that they can't receive in the SEC. And remember, if you transfer from an SEC team, you can't go to another SEC team. So let's think about how many players in the last 2 years from SEC powerhouses, Georgia, Bama. Actually, Bama didn't have no transfers this summer. Pay attention to that. The boy doing something over there. Bama didn't have 1 transfer at the end of this year. Not 1. That's crazy. But last year they did. When Saban left and DeBoer came in, they had multiple leave. I think a lot of them went over there to Florida State and went 2-10, but we're going to leave that alone because we're talking about the NFL right now. But yeah, hey, you feel me? The tide swinging, the tide changing, man, with this NIL, with all the transfer portal and all that good stuff. The stuff is swinging and changing so much that I don't believe that this SEC overpowerment even matters no more. You got Georgia, top SEC quarterback, last year's Heisman hopeful in the preseason, now in the ACC with Miami. You got all kind of powerhouse players that came into the SEC that made their grades go so high that are no longer in the SEC. So what does that do for the caliber of teams that's in these other conferences? That's all I'm saying to you, man. Stop telling me Shadur ain't played nobody when the teams he went against had 4 or 5 SEC players in major positions on the field that he saw. SEC cornerbacks and safeties and all of that out there. Oregon was the #1 team in the nation. The man had good games against them. I'm still going back to Shadur. Y'all see, I'm on my lawyer shit right now, you feel me? Then I told y'all I wasn't going to be here long, and we done hit 30 minutes. Let me say this. Tampa Bay had one of the greatest drafts that we done had in a long time. For us to get Shadur Sanders in the undrafted free agent and Tez Johnson. Tez Johnson led college football for the last 2 seasons in yak yardage. If you don't know what yak is yards after catch. That means if I give him a 2-yard dump off, he's going to get me at least 8. Those type of receivers coming to a team like Tampa Bay with an outside receiver like doggone Mike Evans and Chris Godwin out there, and you telling me we just picked up McMillan from Washington last year, that Julian McMillan came on for us. We still got Sterling Shepard out here, and you tell me we're going to bring in one of the fastest wide receivers to play college football in the last 3 years to that receiving corps? Were you telling me we're going to bring in the receiver that was the #1 yak yardage receiver in college football for the last 2 seasons? Hey, bake, baby. Bake, baby. Let's go. Hey, I got one more for you. I'm just going to reiterate this for you. The Chicago Bears and the New York Giants front office needs to retire, sell their teams, because they're so outdated and still stuck into these 1960s mindsets that it's crazy. Bam. That's my closing argument on the draft. Everybody else did great. The Bears and the Giants, freaking, what that quarterback name from Ole Miss, Jackson Dart. You could have took, boy, I'm so glad I'm not a Giants fan. That's all I can say. I'm so glad I'm not a Giants fan. I ain't saying they should have took Shadur. I'm telling you that Jackson Dart proved so much this season that he's not a big game quarterback. He proved that he's not a big game quarterback in college. That if you think that these SEC defensive coordinators drew up a mix to mix his mind up at the end of every big game, that you think that the NFL defensive coordinators ain't going to throw the same blitz packages at him, plus, you're crazy, man. You're crazy, man. And Dayball saying, boy didn't show up to the meeting prepared and all that type of stuff there. Man, kick rocks, man. The film speak for itself, dog. We want ballers on our teams. All this political stuff that these NFL owners, and it's the same thing I was talking about the NBA with Ja Morant and stuff. I'm a citizen paying taxes and stuff. Ain't ever been arrested, ain't ever been in trouble, but I got to walk on eggshells because I'm in your league. Come on, bro. No. This ain't slave time, bro. This ain't old school time. Long as I ain't doing nothing detrimental to make myself look bad, because if I make myself look bad, then I make everybody around me look bad. So as long as I ain't making myself look bad, plus whatever's attached to me, it shouldn't be a problem, bro. I'm not out here catching criminal cases. I'm not, yeah. And for the ones that is catching criminal cases, I need you to understand that there's a brighter day always at the end of a dark tunnel, dog. You hear me? Stop crashing out and thinking that's the end of it, man. You got to clean yourself up. There's a way to redirect yourself and redirect your future to get back to. I know they may tell you that you can't bounce back from this stuff, but there's plenty of redemption stories out here. So all in all, stay focused, man. All of the draftees who thought they was going to go higher into the draft that didn't go as high as they thought they was going to go, stay focused, man, because just what I said in the beginning of this episode, this is a show me draft class. Show me you are who you say you are. Show me you know how to play the way that you say that you can play. And within the next couple years, I put you back at the financial table and re-sign you to a max contract. They can't stop you from proving that you need a max contract. Only you can do that. So fellas, shake the cobwebs off. Don't be no crybaby. And let me say this for the people that watch the show and try to twist and turn stuff. Not once is we playing victim or nothing. See, mother, when you bring up history and race and all that there, the first thing a mother will try to do is make it seem like you being weak on the situation. Me understanding the history and knowing the knowledge behind things don't make me weak. I ain't using this stuff as no excuses, none of that. So jump off a bridge with that comeback. All right? What we talking about is the factual actuals that's going on within these situations. And anything that I speak on, like I told y'all, you can go and research it a little bit more, because I ain't on here just talking to talk. I ain't on here just talking to talk. As you can see, I got notes. I got notes set up on here. I come on with my notes every day. I do my homework on the websites. I do my conversations, my networking. Hey, I promise you, y'all tapped into something smooth, man. This is Sip This Coffee with your boy Elooo. We're going to talk life. We're going to talk sports. We're going to tell you to go over there and shop with the hair products. We're going to tell you to come over here to the barbershop and get a haircut. We're going to tell you to swing by the school. Sign up to be an esthetician. Sign up to be a cosmetologist. Sign up to be a nail tech. Sign up to be a barber. We trying to work on changing the life out here. So people not out here making excuses and playing victim. We don't believe in that over here on Sip This Coffee. And the other thing we always leave out on and make sure that y'all understand is this here. Put a smile on your face, so you can put a smile on somebody else's face, and we can make the community a better place. Man, y'all been live on this thing, kicking it with with your boy Elooo. Hey, I just had to say this here because my voice is a little off. Last night, we celebrated my brother's 40th birthday party. We went out there and we had a lot of fun. My voice is halfway gone because I learned how to speak sports and talk with my family. And with my family, we do a little aggression talk with each other. We get in there, forget Florida State. So my voice gone right now, y'all. So I hope that y'all got to hear everything clearly through the microphone and everything. Like I said, man, y'all leave y'all comments down there. Y'all like, subscribe, show me some love, share it with your people, all of that good stuff. And, man, we'll be back soon with another episode. And you know how we do it. One finger, two finger, peace. Yay, yay.